Hi everyone, so today I am going to be taking a look at this LEGO Overwatch set. It is number 75975, Watchpoint Gibraltar. So as I've mentioned a few times, if you've watched any of my other videos, I don't know anything about Overwatch, but I always liked the look of the set from when it first came out. I just thought it looked cool, so I bought it from perspective of being a LEGO fan, not a fan of Overwatch. So my knowledge may be limited, but I'll do my best to give my thoughts in terms of get a LEGO set, play set, so on. So this retails for £80, which I did not pay because, yeah, I don't know it. I wouldn't pay £80 for it unless it was something I was really into, I guess. So I got it from Amazon in a sale, and I think it was around 50. So still quite expensive, but it is quite a good size set. So it comes with 730 pieces and 4 minifigs. So it's not so great on the price per piece either. That's about 11p. But then I guess there are some big pieces like this, and you do get a big fig, so that always adds to the price. So yeah, there we are. That's the box. Some nice artwork on the box, and the box is actually going to be part of my review, and you'll understand why in a minute. So there's the back of the box, and I'll keep it just to one side. So there is the actual set, so looks pretty cool. But I think I'll start with the minifigs, and the reason being is I think the minifigs are the thing I find maybe slightly disappointing in this set. As in, they're not as good as they appear on the box. If you just heard Logan shout, he's next door watching Aladdin, I think. So if we look at Winston, for example, I mean, he's still a good fig. I still like him. I always like the big figs, but just not quite the same. I think LEGO need to make sure they use the real figs as they are for their pictures. I mean, it's fine to say add this effect, but otherwise they should be as they are. So that is Winston. Before I go on to the next one, let's have a good look at him anyway. Let's switch over to tripod so I can take his accessories off. Okay, so here he is close up. So yeah, he's still a good minifig. He still looks cool. Another nice big fig to get. I'd always be tempted to get sets with big figs, even if it's not something I know like this, just because I like the big figs. So he has this cool weapon. So it's made up with a few small bits and pieces and some stickers on either side. But I think it looks quite good. Looks a bit different. So there it is. Then he's got this jetpack, again with a couple of stickers. So you can adjust, if you're careful, you can adjust these up and down, or do it too much, they wiggle off like that. So if we remove that jetpack, so again, few pieces, quite simple, but looks good. So like all big figs, legs don't move, which is a shame. I'm not sure if there's a reason why LEGO don't have them with moving legs. Yeah, can move his arms, adjust his hands. He's got the bit there for his jetpack, or you can put, well, anything you like on there really. Have a figure right on his back, so yeah, I still like him. He's still good. Then we have Mercy. So again, not as good as the box, but still quite nice. I mean, I like the Overwatch minifigs in general because of they're always quite bright and colourful, so they stand out compared to some other minifigs. So yeah, decent little weapon there. I like the hairpiece, that's pretty cool. And the wings are also good, so just with one of the clear pieces to hold those on. Printing underneath, pretty nice. Let's take this off if I can. Oh, and second face. And I think that's another big thing is if you look at the colour of her face, and then the colour of her face on the box, very, very different. So that's a bit disappointing. But anyway, so let's just take this off so you can see back printing. So pretty cool again. I think the printing on the torso is fine. It's just the colour of her face that's not so good. But that's not to say that I don't like the minifigs. But then also, as you all know by now, I like minifigs, and I don't know, I can't think of a minifig I've ever really disliked. Maybe that Thanos little minifig, I wasn't so keen on him. Anyway, carry on with this one. Then we'll do Farah, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Maybe someone else can correct me on that. So, nice little stud shooter with an extra piece on, so it doesn't go quite as far, but a bit more chunky looking. Some good printing. Adjustable wings on the back, so you can change them in two ways. So you can change the blue bits up and down, but then you can also adjust. If you do it carefully, you can slightly adjust the grey bits and spin those around as well. So I know grey bits is not the right name for the part, but I always forget the name of parts. Helmet's pretty cool, but I won't keep zooming up to the box. But again, this colour of the face looks quite red on the box, but this does not look red to me. There is the second face. And then finally we have Reaper. So I think I've got a few Reapers now, and always good. I like the chunky built up guns, so using little small gun pieces with a few bits added on, but they do make a difference. They do look good. Let's remove those so we can get a good look. So very nice printing. These kind of bottom, forget what they're called, ghost type pieces. I think they're really good for characters like this. The cape is, you can hear the harder material, and it's like quite a cool little shape. So I quite like that. Good to get a different kind of cape. Just the one face, I think that's fine. Nice printing on the back. Cool face. And you also get some plain black legs if you want to change it up. So, but for me, it's much better like this, I think. So yeah, so that's it in terms of looking at the minifigs. So they're still good, they just don't look like they are on the box, which is a bit of a shame. So then on to the main big set. So we have a nice little base plate here. So we have our drone charge station. So fans of Overwatch will know what that means more. So that's a nice big printed piece. This is good when you've got just the set on the shelf. You can just stand all your figures on it. And that's kind of a bit loose. It's just probably from when I carried this downstairs. So yeah, we have a sticker there, which unfortunately I've placed a little bit wonky. So you can adjust these pieces around. You can adjust the walkway up and down. But I really like it's a little bit slightly flimsy if you move it around too much. But I do really like the look of this. I think it looks good. This whole big, I forgot what name it's called, docking station or whatever you call it, that holds the ships. You've got this nice pipe work. You've got these tanks down the side. Radar dish. Yeah, I just like it. I think it looks good. A few more pipe works, a bit of detail down the bottom. So, and if you make your own things, then these are very good pieces to get. So around the back, this looks fine, but the spaceship, not so much. Would have been nice to maybe have some bit of plate work or something to maybe cover up some of that. So, but I mean, mean, generally you're not going to be looking at it from the back. So that's it for this piece really. Now it's onto the ship. So I think I will go back to the tripod so that I can show you the compartments and how they all open up. Okay, so one more thing to mention now I've removed the ship is it just stands by sitting in these two pieces here. So it's just with these two bottom engines. It just sits and it balances really well. So you could knock it over, but if you've got it on a shelf somewhere safe, it's solid. I've had this set built for a few weeks and it's been stood there perfectly fine. So yeah, very, very sturdy. And so the ship itself, so I know it doesn't look like any real life kind of shuttle. It's more like, well, I guess it looks like the source material, but I couldn't really say. But it looks more like a kind of sci-fi spaceship, or maybe something that you could make up yourself. I think it looks quite nice. It's quite sleek. I quite like the design of it. Quite easy to. It's not too heavy, so you can hold it one-handed to move it around. Unfortunately, that piece is marked, but never mind. So we have a sticker here, and a sticker here, and a sticker up here, and a sticker there. So we have our two cockpits, which I'll show you in a minute. But if we look at the back end, so another sticker there, and then there. I think it looks quite good from the back. Pretty decent design to it. I quite like it. So we have the front. So no consoles or anything. It is just that for driving, but you can obviously fit one minifig in there. You may have to take the wings off, I guess. Then we have another one where you do have to just take this piece off, and it's very deep. So I don't know if, I guess you'd have to, there's no screen as such. There is a little printed console piece in there, but not much else. So you'd have to imagine maybe they're looking at a screen, otherwise it'd be quite claustrophobic just sat in there. But space for a couple of minifigs anyway. And then finally we have this back section which opens up like this, and inside you can see this is designed for Winston to go in. So without taking apart too much, you can see it's got a couple of, I'm not sure what they're meant to be dispensing really, but on this side you've got a drink, I guess, orange juice and a banana for him. So it's quite a big section. He can't stand up in it, and I'm not sure if you can fit him in with his stuff, but he himself fits in quite easily, but he doesn't. He can't stand up, so you do have to just kind of. Oh, hang on. Oh yeah, I forgot that they open. So there we go. You can get a better look. Not sure how I managed to forget that. There we are. Anyway, so you can make it a bit bigger. So he does fit in there, and you can squeeze in his other bits, just maybe not on his back. And you can probably fit a few more minifigs in there. Close it all up and you're ready to go. So that's good for play, I guess. And if you don't want all the figures all positioned on the set when you've got it on the shelf, you could probably fit, yeah, I think you could fit all of them and all their spare bits inside the whole thing. So that's quite good, especially good if you're moving it around. So that's kind of it really for this set. There may be some things that I potentially missed from not knowing about Overwatch, but I think on the whole it's a good set, but I don't think it's worth £80. I think maybe 60 at the most I would pay for it. So keep an eye out for Amazon deals, get it a third off like I did. And yeah, that's always the real negative is the minifigs, but they're still good minifigs. They just don't look like the box, or not exactly like the box. But otherwise, I still like it, and I still plan to keep it built for a while. So yeah, that's it from me, and thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.